Today we are here with yet another beautiful episode of Campus Care Edu Talks. And of course, it is presented by NTAP, someone who is celebrated in education in India. She is awarded the state awardee as Best Principal. She is the recipient of Mahatma Gandhi Samman from London. She is also the president of Delhi School Sahodaya Complex. And really very important is that she's not stopping her here. She is associated with a lot of NGOs. She's associated with Perry. She's an environment crusader, as I say. But there are more aspects to her personality. We will figure it out today. We will talk to her. We will see what her vision is in education. And this is none other than Miss Alka Kapur.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
And she's the principal of the celebrated, right now, this is also featured in Forbes magazine as one of the leading schools in India, Modern Public School.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you.
We are highly honored and we're privileged that you have taken time out.
It's my pleasure entirely.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, you have started your career as a principal 20 years back.
Yes.
2000.
No, I started my career in 1988 as a primary teacher.
Really?
Yes. And then I was upgraded as TGT and then PGT. And finally, in the year 2000, I was promoted as the head of the school, the principal of the school.
And from 2000,
So it's been a long journey.
It's been one of the most beautiful journey we will talk
Yes,
about.
yes.
Why I'm saying beautiful is that once APJ Abdul Kalam was asked that how does it feel to be the president of the largest democratic country in the world, and he said it feels great, but the journey was beautiful.
Yes, of course it is beautiful. All journeys are beautiful.
The journey
Yes.
is beautiful. So, in this journey, you have seen 2 decades.
Yes.
What satisfies you the most when you look back?
What satisfies me the most is the kind of students that we have raised as teachers and as principal. When I go to hospitals, when I go to various places across, and when I see the alumnus of modern public schools shining well and bright, I think that satisfies me the most. And they are good human beings as well, because when I look at their achievements, they had been excellent in academics. That's why they are doctors, they are engineers, they are journalists, but a lot is being said about their temperament. So I believe we are trying to give them a balanced education of mind, body and spirit.
I'm sure.
So that's the biggest satisfaction.
Do you have any particular memorable moment, like which is, you think about that moment and you just smile?
There have been many such moments, but I don't know which one would be better than. I don't think.
Every
Moment,
is
yes, I celebrate every moment.
Wow.
Moment. The moment I wake up, I think the celebration starts.
Wow.
I celebrate life,
This
the
is
people I
something
meet.
everyone
Like, for
should-
example, right now, my most celebrated moment is talking to you.
Wow, I think this is something everyone should know from here, that every day she wakes up, that is the most enjoyable moment for
With
her.
celebration and with a sense of gratitude.
Wow.
So today it is for being here and meeting you.
Wow, I'm honored. Yeah. The sense of gratitude that you have just talked about, it's one of the most important parts in everyone's life.
Yeah.
And for every student also, whether student or we are grown up, it's important. Do you think somewhere it is missing out in today's context?
Yes, majorly missing out, because people are looking at things that they don't have rather than celebrating the things that they have. I always narrate a story to my students that there is a cyclist who is looking at the car. I wish I had a car. And then there's the car one who's looking at a bigger car. And then the biggest car person is looking at the aeroplane. So I feel, why don't you start looking down? And the aeroplane wala is looking at a private chopper. So no one is satisfied. So look downwards. The one who has a chopper should be blessed. Oh, thank God I have a chopper. Thank God I have this. Thank God I have a car. Thank God I have a motorcycle.
Yes.
Thank God I have a cycle. Thank God I have legs. Thank God I have feet. There is so much more to
Thank
be in
God I'm
gratitude.
breathing.
Yes, yes. Thank God I'm breathing.
Breathing.
So I think you can be in gratitude all the time for the little things and the big things that you have.
The feeling of gratitude
Yes.
is really very
Oh,
important.
very important. And it's so satisfying and it keeps you going.
Do you think technology has somewhere taken away the feeling of gratitude? Or it is providing more, but we are not utilizing it properly?
I don't think so, because technology is important. For 21st century, you cannot shy away from technology. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So, but there is a balance that is always required. So there were times earlier when children used to get up in the morning, they used to see their grandmothers and their parents praying in the household. So those vibrations were very important, and they kept control of one aspect, that is the spiritual aspect of an individual. Now, when children get up, mother is trying to cook food for them, bathing them, or I mean, in some cases, they begin with WhatsApp.
WhatsApp.
So somewhere the bonding is being compromised with, which I feel it shouldn't be, because of course, hands-on technology does give you a lot of information, does give you a lot of knowledge.
But a balance between technology.
A balance is very important, and that is the duty of every individual to maintain. And that is our role as teachers and parents, to inform them about how we can maintain that kind of a balance to be happy.
So, when we talk about balance to be happy, how do you balance it in your life?
Okay, like,
Because your life, it
I'm
seems
also
very
human.
busy.
I'm also human.
Yeah.
There was a time when I was also kind of addicted to uh, the gadgets.
Mhm.
So my family was not happy about it. And I thought, I used to always say, this is about my professional growth. I want to see what's happening in the education sector in the world. So I would give that justification. And at times I was compromising on quality time with family and with friends. But then that didn't take me anywhere. That did not make me happy. That made me little unhappy, because I was also losing out on something. So one day we all sat and we decided, when it's family time, when it is work time, we are not going to look into the telephone. And I think I'm doing pretty well after that.
Wow. So it is, I can take out the fact that it is very important to communicate in the family.
Absolutely, absolutely. That time is the best time of the day. Not just family, with your friends also. I mean, I think life comes in a square.
Yes.
Yeah, you have yourself, you have your family, you have your work, and you have your friends. So this table is sturdy because it's on the four legs. If one leg is gone, it will be imbalanced. So you need to have me time also, you need to have family also, friends also, and work also.
Yes.
So in me time, you are allowed to do whatever you want.
So in your me time, what do you do?
In my me time, I love to spend time with my granddaughter.
Wow.
I love to spend time with myself, do the introspection. I mean, 10 minutes in a day, it's very, very important for me to know what has been my strength today and what has been my weakness today.
So when do you do it? In the morning, in the night?
Anytime while traveling. I mean, you don't need a particular center or a particular sofa to do that me time. I could do it in the car while I was traveling to school.
This is very important that we need to learn here, that every day ma'am takes out at least 10 minutes to reintrospect her, and I think that has given.
Yes, that gives me little wisdom than the previous day.
Yeah.
And I try not to do the things that have been objected by others or by my own self.
You suggest it to be done by the students as well?
Absolutely, absolutely. Every single individual should have that me time for introspection of the self, because unless something comes from within, that this is the right I've done, this is the wrong I've done, and I want to improve. Unless it comes from within, that intrinsic motivation and challenge is very important.
Yes, very true. Yeah. Definitely. Now, the next question is how tech savvy you are.
Ah, that's difficult. Not really tech savvy. I have to depend on a lot of people at work and in the family to do my technology work. How it all started, I'll tell you. It all depends on a teacher. So, ages back when computers had just started, I got in touch with a teacher and I requested her, I want to learn computers. And she started with the programming and all the difficult tasks. So I was dreaded. I am not going to learn computers. I can't do it. I just can't do it. I'd given up. And after that came mobiles. So yesterday, last night only, I was realizing I always thought I can do typing and see how effortlessly I'm doing it. So this is called experiential learning.
Yes.
Hands on, you try to learn, there has to be a will from your side to do it, and nothing will stop you. So I can do most of my work.
I think this experiential learning that you're talking about, you have given immensely to your kids also.
Yes, of course.
In modern public
Of
school,
course.
experiential
Everything,
learning is
everything.
very important.
Everything. You know, these days, those little ones, they are growing their own food.
Wow. Is it happening in the school campus?
It's happening in the school
Wow.
campus. I tell them to bring those little cups of milk wherein they make their curd,
Wow.
wherein they grow their food. I told them, I said, see, the basic need of a man is food, clothing, and shelter. Okay, maybe shelter your parents are able to provide you. Clothes you can buy. But what about food? You have to grow it. So everyone has a pot. They come because if you want to make any changes, catch them young.
Yes.
So once they start doing it, now they've started growing it at home also. So I feel we are making a difference. We are able to make.
Wow,
Because
sure.
farmers are the most respected lot, I feel, because they give us food. So let us do our own farming. Why not?
Definitely. I would love to do it.
Yes.
Though I do it a bit of gardening, but perhaps I can take
Now
some
grow your own
inspiration.
food.
Some
My
inspiration
teachers have
from
started doing it at
you.
home.
Wow. I
Yeah.
should take some inspiration
Sure,
from you today. Go
sure,
back and start
wonderful. Why
to
not?
do that.
Yes.
Okay. So talking about you, I believe that health and mindfulness both is equally important.
Yes.
And we have talked off camera, on camera. I see you're very healthy and a mindful person. How do you balance both?
See, when it says I'm healthy, I'm sorry, I'm not.
Okay.
Because I think a lot goes back to my previous years that I've spent maybe as a student in school. I come from a school which was in tents. So forget alone, it did not have a pakka building. Forget alone the ground for, exercises or something. The day used to start with studies. They used to end with studies. We we hardly had any time for any physical activity, and I think that's what is lacking, because in those formative years the habit did not develop.
Okay.
So I make sure that a child is born, the child is so flexible, he can put his foot thumb into his mouth, he you can cuddle him and you can fold him the way you want to. But as you grow up, you become stiff because you don't work on your body. So that's what I take it as an agenda. Every single day, every single child of the school has to do physical exercises.
Wow.
So with my granddaughter, it's mandatory for her to do toe touching.
Oh.
She's 3 years old, and now recently we've started on meditation also, because see, of course, what is life in if we look at it in a broader angle, it has to be intellectual.
Yes.
That part has to be satisfied. The IQ, EQ, SQ, the
IQ
physical
is
quotient.
yeah.
The physical quotient has to be taken care of, the health quotient, the happiness quotient. So happiness of the mind and happiness of the body is what I really work upon in my school.
Wow. And I believe that everything which you have not got at that point, you
Yes,
give
of course,
everything
of
to the
course,
kids.
of course. At
Yeah.
any cost, at any cost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a beautiful
Beg,
thing.
borrow, or steal. I'll even go and beg for my organization if I don't have the resources. But I want to give it to my children. That is for sure.
I'm sure they're very lucky to have you.
I'm lucky to have all of you. Oh, I mean, to be surviving to serve all of them. Yes.
Absolutely. Ma'am, tell me, you have seen a decade of, 2 decades of change happening
Yeah.
as a principal, as the head.
Yeah.
And there must be, very, very good changes, some changes which you have really incorporated in the school, some which you have not. But 5 changes that you have incorporated, if when you recall, that actually turned the school upside down for the betterment of the school. 5, 6 changes, or some of the major changes that has really helped the school to.
Okay, number one, I think school is. You can judge the flavor of a school by the quality of the teachers. Okay? I have empowered the teachers, given them more freedom, given them more time to do things that they want to do. I want results. So I really don't go poking my nose into their affairs. I tell them, way will be yours. Results should be according to the standards of the school. Okay? So teacher training, teacher empowerment is really what I work upon. Another is individual care of every child. In my school, every child has my mobile number.
Wow.
Every single parent, every single child has my mobile number. They can call me, they can write to me on WhatsApp anytime during 24/7.
Wow, this is amazing.
So, just very recently, there was this girl of class 4 who wrote to me, "Ma'am, I am getting into depression because no one does this, no one does this." So, I mean, she's got a channel directly to reach me. Another thing, there are no meeting hours for me. My room is like a khulla darbar. Anyone, parent, teacher, student, can walk in anytime. And of course, infrastructure. I've really worked on the infrastructure. Small spaces that were lying waste, small spaces have been utilized for the betterment of the students. And of course, then when I say it's about technology and it's about the sports,
Yes.
anything that they want, they just have to come to me, "Ma'am, this is the requirement." The teachers have to come. Next day, they will have it.
Wow. So this is how a school grows.
Yeah.
Great. What are the technological involved? Like how modern public school is inclined to technology?
Anything and everything. My students are doing very, very well. We have the best faculty, and everything is these days maybe dependent on technology. The parent teacher communication, the communication outside, we are able to peep outside of the world, in outside of India. We are able to look into a school maybe in the remotest parts of the world, and technology of course is there, so everyone has to be technologically savvy. Anything that comes in infrastructure, I like to provide it, and we are working on it.
Wow.
You
Great.
can't shy away from it in the 21st century. That is a tool.
What's your take on AI then?
Oh, big way, AI. Yeah, we are creating it, but somewhere I feel people are scared of it.
Yeah.
But I feel no, you have to accept things and then come to resolutions that AI cannot replace the human
Yes.
touch, the
Yes.
human feeling. So the relationships.
The teachers can never be replaced.
Never. I'm hearing that soon we'll have even partners as computers, because a man comes to home, he sees a nagging wife, so he'll have Sophia as a partner probably, who'll look into his eyes and understand the mood of the husband is not good.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's very
That
human,
is-
and that's what I would look forward to. I feel my students are wise enough, and the world is wise enough to understand. But I also feel somewhere everyone is understanding this and going back to the roots. We are moving back to our roots, and the way it is required. I think everyone, it's high time, understands that. We should use technology for our purpose. We shouldn't make technology a way of life.
Absolutely, definitely. Now I'll come back to some fun questions.
Sure,
And, I'll
sure.
give you some words,
Sure.
and the first thing, whatever comes in your mind, then you
Okay.
have to say to me. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of the word happy.
Happy world,
Okay.
happy people in a happy world.
Success.
My husband.
I'll come to that.
Okay, sure. But that's what it is because I've seen his journey. Yeah.
Yeah. Music.
Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan.
Really?
Yes. All time
Match.
favorite.
Color.
Blue.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. Peace.
My husband.
Wow. Sir, you are raining, huh? Love.
My husband.
Okay. Okay.
And my granddaughter.
Okay.
And my students and my teachers. Love is, I can't say it, I can't describe it in one word. My
It's
mother,
full.
my sons, everyone. I mean, I'm full of love for everyone. That's what people say about me.
Sunrise.
Sunrise in the plain when I see or around the beach, that turns me on.
You're a beach person.
Not really, but then I love the sunrise at the beach.
Same here.
Yeah.
Okay. So, one very important thing now I cannot go without is that your husband.
Yeah.
He has a immense, what I say, inspiration for us. He has that aura, what we have talked off camera. But on camera, I really request you to share his a bit of his success story.
He is. I always tell people I haven't seen God, but if I had seen God, he would be someone like Mr. Alka Kapur. That's my husband. So I put him on that pedestal.
Wow.
And he's an inspiration not just for me but many people around. People call him the best boss, and that I think is a big achievement when your staff loves you. The best father, the best son, that has been that we've been hearing about him. But he is a very hardworking person. I've seen his journey, watched his journey closely when he had no money to himself. He started with mere 3 lakh rupees, and now he's taken his company up to 800 crores. And in that period of time, not one single complaint from any area, be it the vendors, be it the suppliers, be it the banks, be it family, be it the buyers, be it anyone. So he's done it so peacefully, like a duck paddling, very fast, but on the surface looks so peaceful. So I think he's that inspiration for me, and I learn a lot from him.
So, what are your biggest learnings from?
Biggest learning is don't compare yourself to others.
Wow.
Your comparison and your competition is just with yourself. Don't gossip around. Don't be judgmental because you've not been into their shoes. So why you pass judgments about them? So I mean everything good that I've learned. We met at a very young age. So I think the grooming has happened together, and sometimes we feel we've got habits like brothers and sisters.
Yeah, this happens. My mom used to always tell me this: is once you grow together, at one point you feel like you are brother and sister.
Yes. So the habits have been like that. But I'm fortunate to have good people in my life who've always supported me. And if I always used to take pride saying, I have the best father in the whole world. And whatever my personality today is, one side is my father, one side is my husband. They both handled me very well, and I take pride that I'm standing here tall and bright.
Every one of us.
Yeah.
Every one of us.
Yeah.
Now talking about relationships, what I have heard from you, it's a relationship where you both are really partners, not only for life but also partner at home to
Yes.
raise your kids,
Yes.
give time.
Yes.
Do you see it happening today
Of course. Family time in my house is very important.
in outside the world?
And outside the world also it should be very important. I think if you don't have a happy family, you don't have reasons to come back home. And home is paradise. So you're trying to ruin your paradise if you're not aligned in the family. So that particular alignment can only happen once, it's got to be quality time. I feel the best family is where everyone sits together, stays
Correct.
together, prays together, eats together, enjoys together. But in cases where children are outside in some other country and parents are here, still you can connect with them thanks to technology now.
Yes.
They are closer, so that's where
We can
I
have a
respect.
video call.
Yes, I respect technology for that particular reason. Yeah, it's made life so closer. I mean, nothing you feel is far away from you. So I think family time is very very important for a balanced growth of an individual.
Do you sometimes get such complaint from kids? My parents don't give me time.
Yes, and I feel bad about it. Then I tell the teachers, see, the parents are working maybe because of some financial reasons or maybe because of some commitments. So moms and ma'ams, there is no difference. There are times, when the child comes to school initially, most of the time he'll come to us and say, "Mom, Mama."
Wow.
So be the mothers. Substitute your foster parents. We are foster parents.
Sorry to interrupt, but this word "ma'am." Sometimes I write poems. So this word "ma'am" itself has the first word "ma."
Ma, of course, it has. It has. Ma'am and mom is one and the same.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
Now we're coming close to uh, sum up today's enriching day, I would
Yes.
say. But before that, two questions I have. First, how do you foresee the coming generation? What are the skills they should really have? And how modern public school is dealing with that?
Okay, I think life skills is what we are really, really focusing on. That the challenges that they come across, they should be able to meet those challenges. See, it's no point that a child is very academically excellent, but he's not able to handle his stresses or competitions. So, all those skills, I mean, a child should be able to. Know the nuances of almost everything that is required to live life. As I told you, uh, grow your own food. So the child shouldn't be dependent on anyone. I'm dependent on my mother for doing this. I'm dependent on my happiness for to this person. I'm dependent on my health to this person. So a child should be able to, like for example, I say, my vision is a whole person in the whole world. So, complete person, wherever you are able to go, you are able to adjust yourself. So, we tell them, I teach them even table manners. I teach them even the way they have to crack their interviews. And I personally do it with them. When they come to my office, the way they stand, the way they walk, the way they talk. So I tell the teachers also every day you have to come dressed as if you're going for a wedding because your children will be inspired. So I think a complete package is that of a pleasing personality, a happy mind, a healthy body, and I would always
And
come
a
back
great
to.
leader like you.
I would always come back to. Zero it down to brains and brawns together, healthy mind in a healthy body.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the last will be, we already discussed about a vision, but how do you see technology and the whole person coming together? Do you see any new invention in the near future which will be really really exponential for education? Anything that is coming our way in future?
Yes, nanotechnology. There is so much happening. That there is so much happening in this world. As I told you, I'm not a technology person, so I can't even talk about those big terms. We have to expose our children.
Blockchain, this.
Yes,
and,
yes, yes, yes,
cryptocurrencies and
yes.
all.
All of those things. Yeah. So we need to expose our children to the maximum.
And I'm sure your school is doing
Of
that.
course, we are doing it. We have been rated as the best in ATL, and then the robotics lab. People say robotics and ATL is one and the same. I said no, but I need to give robotics experience to my 3-year-old child also. They should have their hands-on experiences. So I think I teach them to catch the moon. In case the moon doesn't come their hand, at least there will be no dust. They'll come out with stars at least.
Absolutely. And your last words, to sum up, what do you think about the initiative taken by NTAP to give a
And
platform to
see,
the educators?
I spoke to Mr. Lawrence,
Mhm.
yeah, and I said it's a very, very good initiative because you're trying to spread some kind of awareness. Everything that happens is happening for learning. Suppose I listen to the comments of another principal through you, of course, credit goes to you. There will be some learning from that. So suppose I am able to provide even an inch of a learning to someone, be it the students, teachers, anyone. I think it's done. You're doing good work. Good work in the education sector. Congratulations to you. And again, I wish you are as glorious as you want to be, as successful as your company wants to be, and you are doing something to make a difference and going that extra mile. That is what matters. Doing different things differently.
I take one thing for the rest of my life till I survive here. Today, what I'm taking is reintrospection, what we talked
Yes.
about. And trust me, I promise you this from my side. This is something from here I'm going to take and inculcate in my daily
Wonderful,
routine.
wonderful. My work is done. My work is done. It took me almost two hours to reach here, but I think it's done.
It's I think the most beautiful. I mean, this is something we all are missing to reintrospect ourselves.
Yes.
But we are not going to leave you like this. We want your very, very precious and important signature.
Of course.
To make sure that you. So we are not leaving you like this. Please give your
Sure.
very, very
On this?
precious, yeah.
Okay. Wonderful.
So this sign will be always there with us.
This is making me feel important.
This will make sure that
It's a happy day. Again, I started with this. Gratitude to the Almighty for associating me to such wonderful people that I've met today. God bless you all.
We are highly honored to have you.
And would you like to say something about a magazine and group?
Of course, I have read the magazine and it gives me a lot of information. It gives me a delight to read this and a desire to be here. Sure.
Thank you so much.
Yes. God bless you.